Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're diving into a topic that might be top of mind for many of you living in or moving to Arkansas, choosing your power company. We have Entergy and North Arkansas Electric Co-op in our area, Sharp, Fulton, Izard County. Those are pretty much your choices. And that decision can significantly impact your monthly expenses and your overall satisfaction with your power service. Today we'll break down the key differences between these two companies and help you make an informed decision about where you want your next home to be so that you can get the best benefits of the power. First up, we have Entergy. It is a large, publicly traded utility company serving millions of customers across several states like Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, and they do offer a wide range of services including electricity, natural gas, and renewable energy. And they are a really big company, and some people like that, some people don't. And then on the alternate side, we have NAEC. That stands for North Arkansas Electric Co-op. And so it's an electric cooperative, meaning that they have members. And most of their membership is in Sharp, Fulton, Izard, Stone, Marion, Baxter, Lawrence, all like our surrounding area. I mostly work in Sharp, Fulton, Izard, and that's like the counties that surround those three. So as a cooperative, it's owned by its members and all the profits go back to the members in the form of lower rates or capital credits. So the focus here is on providing service specifically to rural communities, and it's a very centrally focused in our area. So it's nice to have someone locally. Now there are different service areas and reliabilities for Entergy and NAEC. And while you can't choose your electric company, you can choose where your house is and what service that house gets. So it can influence your decision when you're purchasing or even renting a home. One of the most important factors to consider with that power company is that service area and reliability. Now, Entergy usually is more in urban areas, like in the bigger cities in the other states, but they obviously serve here rurally as well. They are mostly in Sharp County, and I don't think they're in Fulton or Izard County to the best of my knowledge. I couldn't find a map that actually showed the service areas, but Fulton County, or NAEC, I mentioned some of the counties that they serve. In my service area, they cover Fulton and Izard County. Now there is parts of Sharp County that NAEC does cover over in Williford and Ozark Acres, I know has NAEC. So it just depends. You're gonna almost, when you're searching for a home, there is a category that you can look at what the electric service is, and it'll say Entergy, it'll say co-op, there's independent sources, and then of course there's some homes that are off the grid. But when you see that on the MLS or Zillow or whatever website you look at, you're depending on the listing agent's knowledge of that home, who probably depend on the seller's knowledge of that home. So it may be something that you want to verify yourself, and that's, you can call the power company and just say, do you service this address? And they'll be able to tell you that. It's as simple as that. But you might want to verify it if it is really important to you which one you are getting for service. Now they do have a little bit different rates and pricing simply because NAEC is a membership and Entergy is a publicly traded company. They're going to have different charges because they have run their business differently. So while we take a deep dive into the current rates offered by Entergy and NAEC, you can see that there are many factors that might influence your monthly bill. Now with Entergy, since they are larger and they serve more areas, they could have a higher energy demand because they have to spread that out. It's also going to depend on the natural gas prices, if you're getting natural gas from them, and even the weather. Like if they have some major storms in some areas, they're going to focus on that. Then maybe areas that are needing that, or if they have extreme heat or extreme cold, they're going to be focusing on that. Now NAEC is more likely to keep rates more stable and lower because they're focusing on a smaller area, and plus that access is returned to members with those capital credits and lower rates, because they are able to do that and focus on that small area and know what their customers need better since they are actually local. And here's a couple bills that I pulled. I actually happen to have one from each company. Now these are homes that are vacant, so they don't have a whole lot of electric usage. But for example, first of all, Entergy, this happened to be 296 kilowatt hours. And so for that kilowatt hour usage, it says it was 0.00882 per kilowatt hour. It was only actually $2 for the electricity, but the bill was $50 because you have an energy charge and a customer charge and a formula rate plan and then all the taxes. So this was 1 month period for $50, but it was 300 kilowatt hours. Now on the NAEC, this bill was also $50 and change, but they're both $50 and change. It was also 30 days. It was only $154 kilowatt hours, but the per rate of kilowatt hour charge was slightly higher at 0.107 and some more numbers. So it is slightly higher. They also have other fees like electric distribution charge, and then of course taxes. But there's also some credits on here: power cost adjustment, debt cost adjustment, load management credit. So they are giving you credits through the capital credits and the membership of the co-op. You're getting credits back because of somehow they're getting money into the company and they're passing it on to you. So even though this is a small bill, it gives you an idea that you could have got twice as much kilowatt hours on Entergy versus NAEC in this situation in these homes. Now obviously that's going to be different for every home for you to get an idea of the power usage, and that's why I usually don't like people to get bills from the electric companies when they're trying to figure out about buying a house and seeing if it's energy efficient. To get an average bill, because like me, I have my thermostat set at 72, which is probably too hot for a lot of people, and you might have it set at 68. So your electric bills are going to be different just because you have different usage. So it would give you a general idea of maybe like the extremes. It would give you a general idea of the extremes, maybe the highest and the lowest, but it's not necessarily what you're going to use in that home. It's better to be looking at like the insulation of the home and what other energy improvements the home can use to keep your electric bills low. Now, customer service can make a big difference in your overall experience with a power company. Now, since Entergy is a large company, they are far away, but customer support is 24/7. You can go online, they got a toll-free number, and they have an app for tracking outages. But unfortunately, if you live here in our Tri-County area, you can't physically go and pay the bill. I mean, you could if you want to drive out of state, but there's nothing local. If you want to pay your bill in cash, you got to go to Harps or Walmart. Otherwise, you got to pay online or set up auto pay or something like that. Now, NAEC is going to be a more personalized service. You're likely to speak with someone who actually lives in your surrounding area, surrounding communities, and they have a more local focus. And they're probably going to answer the phone rather than an automated system. Sometimes that means a quicker response when there's outages, which can be common in rural areas. Now, I personally have Entergy at my office and at my home. And the NAEC is in the other homes that we manage. So we're familiar with the program, and sometimes we have clients with NAEC, obviously. So I know that they both have outages with some storms, but as far as I understand, they've both been really good about getting their outages back on as quickly as possible. The only one that I know of that was talked about a lot was when he had an ice storm, and I believe that was back in 2009. That was before I even moved here, when there was an ice storm and it took people were 2 weeks without power. And I'm sure you've heard similar things happen in Texas with Entergy when they've gone long times without power. So there are those extreme cases, but in general, power is restored quickly with both companies. Now, if you're interested in renewable energy, it's important to know what options are available from both companies. Entergy has invested in both solar and wind initiatives to reduce their carbon footprint, but since they are so large and across so many states, it's going to be a long process for them to get that under control and really get that to where it's maintained. You can contribute on both NAEC and Entergy as well, as far as I know, to that expansion into that renewable energy, so that you're helping them along with getting that taken care of. Now, NAEC, I know, has a solar field in Fulton County, so that they are using that renewable energy source. And since they're a local business, they have a better understanding of the community needs and the environmental concerns for any of the membership in the area that we work in. Both companies get involved in their communities, but in different ways. Entergy, since it has larger resources, tends to support big events and statewide initiatives, since they are spread out and they're a larger company. Now, NAEC is going to be smaller and member-owned, so it's going to focus more on localized approach. They have focused on supporting the schools and local businesses and emergency services within the counties they serve in Arkansas. And so this kind of hyper-local investment really makes you feel more involved, especially since you're a member here in a roundabout way, actually involving yourself in those community involvement as well, because you are paying into that membership. And that is something else I meant to mention with NAEC. Now with Entergy, you usually have to pay a deposit. I think it just depends on your credit. I think it's about $250 deposit. And I'm not sure about NAEC on the deposit, but you do have to pay a membership fee. And I believe the membership fee is $50, and then if the home that you're moving into or turning power on at doesn't have a meter set, you have to pay for that, which is another $50. So it's best if you just switch it over if that's all possible, and they'll just leave the meter there. But as soon as power is turned off, they actually remove the meter for NAEC. So you can save some money if you actually just get it switched over. So which power company should you go with? Well, it really depends on you. If you're looking for a company with lots of resources, broader coverage, and advanced technology, like apps and green initiatives, then Entergy might be a better fit. But if you really prefer that something smaller and locally owned, plus you get more stable rates and the part of being an owner or member in the company, then North Arkansas Electric Co-op is definitely worth considering, especially if you're in the Sharp, Fulton, Izard, or surrounding county area or moving to that area. And another thing to remember that NAEC also offers Next Internet, which is fiber optic internet. So this is really great to have if you're going to be working from home or you just have a lot of people using the internet at once. It is able to hold a higher bandwidth. There are only NAEC members are able to get Next, not Entergy. So as clients of Entergy at my office at home, we have internet through Fidelity, which is a cable provider, and I'm very happy with their service, but Next fiber optic is the best that's available in the area. So that is another reason that it is important to consider that when you're buying a home, if you need that internet to be working at home, which a lot of people are doing right now, that you have NAEC Power Corporation supplying your house so that you can have that fiber optic internet. I hope I provided you a comprehensive comparison of Entergy and North Arkansas Electric Co-op. By understanding the key differences between these two power companies, you can make an informed choice that best suits your needs and budget. If you found this information helpful, check out this video comparing sewer and septic systems. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more real estate content. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.